What do you think is the number one thing that you've learned to continue to double every year? Because that's a big thing to do, like what do you attribute that to?
Hmm.
All right, all the way from Colorado, the Medicare GOAT. The dude he's branded Medicare Peace of Mind. Like the dude's dominating Medicare. But I'm going to take a little different approach, man. Like you're someone that invests a lot in yourself, and you may have invested close to six figures these last, year and a half ish.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you do that? And why is that so important? Whether it's $100,000 or even $1,000 for somebody or $100 for somebody, why is it relevant?
Man, now it's easy for me to answer that. At the time, you're going into it, that wasn't me. And when I sat, it was you that basically helped me change my mindset last spring when we sat down for lunch. And basically made it to where I wasn't afraid to spend the money. But the returns aren't necessarily always going to be tangible. So going to events, getting coaching, plugging in, investing into myself has become somewhat addicting because every time I do it, I feel like the growth I get from it, as a business owner, as a man, as a father, as a friend, as a brother, as everything, as a son, I feel like I'm leveled up, not just in business, but also in life. And the return on investments, massive. I mean, I went to toot your horn from the year I had my best year ever when I had just met you, and we were all impressed with what I did in 2020 as it was.
Yeah.
And then I took my revenue and more than doubled it last year. And I didn't grow a team. I had the same size team the whole time. In fact, I lost one agent. I was one less agent. Set records for year-over-year growth with United Healthcare in Colorado for any size agency. And so I guess the proof's in the pudding, as the cliche is said, that where you put your money where your mouth is, you pick a cliche, but investment into yourself is big time. And so if you can only invest $100 here, $100 there, if you have $500 in your checking account, invest that $500 into yourself some way, somehow. Buy a book, get a class, hire a coach, go to 8% virtual, go to 8% roadshow, go to 8% actual 8%, go to any of the conferences that you can find. Plug into as many rooms with people that are doing bigger, better things than you think you are. That's the other thing too. Every time I've gotten in one of these rooms, you go in there thinking you're some level of success, and then you're inevitably going to run into bigger fish if you stop trying to be the big fish in the small pond and you try to find bigger ponds instead, with bigger fish in them. Then sooner or later, the more you play with bigger fish, the bigger fish you become.
Yes. Not your agency code, but your coupon code that people can get $50 off with. What was that again for you?
Joshua.
Okay, perfect. So the link's below. Okay, you can use Joshua as a coupon code to get $50 off to be a part of 8% virtual and to learn from the Medicare GOAT all the way from Colorado, Joshua Youngs. Actually, let's do this. What do you think is the number one thing that you've learned to continue to double every year? Because that's a big thing to do, like what do you attribute that to?
Well, persistent and consistent effort in things that I've either cultivated or created or developed as far as what programs I'm doing. So that, unfortunately for me, most of the doubling effort comes from my production right now, which isn't a bad thing, right? For me, right, in the short term and all that, it creates revenue and other things like that. But in the grand scheme of things, if I could do it over again, the biggest takeaway I've gotten is don't be afraid to spend the money. if it's a good investment. So there's a difference between spending money and investing money. And you have to look at attending something like 8% virtual as an investment into yourself, into your business. And it is. You could write it off. It's an actual business expense. And so if you look at it as an investment instead of a expense or a cost, because the only way there's no return is if you don't go into it with an open mind, open heart, with a learning spirit in you that you're going to be open-minded. Because I mean, there's plenty of times where I've been in a room when I go into it with a cocky attitude, thinking, what am I going to learn from these people? I should be up there teaching it, vice versa. But inevitably, every place I go, every meeting I've been at, somewhere when I participate in something, I end up getting something out of it. So yeah, for me, the biggest thing is I've been able to create momentum. And I think one of my strongest skills is the ability to keep pushing, even when you start having massive success. I think that's the hardest thing is, you write 500 apps in an AEP. It's real easy to want to take January, February, and March off. For some people, for me, I have to force myself to take time off because I love it. I get a rush. To me, it's like it's a competition with myself, and I'm winning. But yeah, keeping the ball rolling when you got it rolling. Momentum's a powerful thing. I was talking to my team the other day about that. If you have momentum rolling forward, it's a powerful thing. And stopping momentum, taking a day off, taking a week off, often creates a situation where you got to get the ball rolling from scratch again. Because unless you have a good team behind you that keeps the ball rolling while you're not there, you're going to have to be the one that starts the ball rolling again. And so momentum's powerful. But yeah, I'm trying to think what's the number one thing I got from all this, but it's not something I got. It's more of something, the relationships that I'm developing in the industry now, with people that are forward thinkers and other things where, if you're a big fish in a small pond, I'll use that again, you end up not growing mostly because you don't have people to motivate. You don't have people around you that are trying to push as hard or harder. And I think that was probably the hardest thing for me. And then I brought that up when we sat down last year was I run out of people to chase.
Correct.
And so, you helped me change my mindset from you're not chasing, you're leading. And so now I have a new mission. So I'm not worried about chasing somebody. Now I'm worried about who's behind me and are they close enough to me and all those other things. And so it's really helped develop me into a better leader, a better coach. And I feel like, big things are just starting. So stay tuned.
Boom. I love that, man. What can they expect to learn from you on the 18th when you jump on the virtual stage?
Say that one more time.
What can they expect to learn from you when you speak on the 18th?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna bring some heat. I never have as much time as I want in any of these things because I want to give everybody everything that I got to help them as much as I can. So what I'm going to try to do is come out with a firecracker. The theme's going to be thinking outside the box to help create a unique customer experience. Because I think that's the biggest thing. Most agents that I see struggle are trying to duplicate almost verbatim what somebody else is doing, which if a bunch of people start doing that, over time it's going to saturate the market with the same thing, and there's no uniqueness and there's no pizzazz, there's no sizzle. So yeah, I think that's going to be the thing I bring is some outside the box ideas to help you, whether you're in Medicare or PNC or life insurance or anything. All these tactics can be applied universally to increase your sales and, more importantly, increase your referral rate, because the unique experience increases your referral rate big time.
Dude, I love it. Joshua Youngs, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being on today. Okay.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you on the 8th. We'll see you on the 18th. Okay. If you're jumping in, if you're watching, you're listening, click the link below in the description, put in coupon code Joshua for $50 off, and we'll see you break through in 2022. See you soon. Hey, if you enjoyed this, I got another one you're going to love. It's right there. Click on it. See you in there. Thank you, Dallas. Ain't just Sherry. We about to be legend. Who wants to be legendary today? Come on now, right? Who wants to at some